The chapter begins with Lena Carter, a 32-year-old true crime podcaster, moving into a century-old farmhouse in rural Vermont. The house is isolated, surrounded by dense woods, with a history she deliberately ignored. Cheap rent and solitude were all she wanted after a traumatic incident involving her brother's death 6 months prior. The house groans like a living thing, its floorboards warped from decades of cold winters. The wallpaper curls away from the walls, revealing blackened stains beneath water damage or something else. A single antique mirror hangs in the hallway, its glass warbled and aged, giving reflections a slightly distorted quality. Lena, exhausted from unpacking, falls asleep on the couch. At exactly 3 a.m., she's jolted awake by 3 slow, deliberate knocks on the front door heavy, like someone using the side of a fist. She checks the peephole, nothing. Opens the door, empty porch, freezing air. Then she notices. Her cat, Shadow, is missing. Lena checks her motion-activated doorbell camera, expecting to see a raccoon or stray dog. Instead, the footage shows a tall, blurry figure standing too close to the lens, its face elongated and indistinct, like a smudged painting. When she rewinds, the figure wasn't there the first time. Audio distortion. The recording picks up a whisper right before the knocks. "Let me in." The neighbor's warning. The next morning, she meets Mr. Hargrove, an elderly neighbor who brings her a welcome pie, which she doesn't eat. Something feels off about it. You hear knocking at 3 a.m. Don't answer. Folks round here say it's not a person. It's something that wants to be let in. Last tenant? Nice fella. Moved out sudden-like. Left all his things behind. Lena finds Shadow on the porch at dusk dead, neck snapped, arranged in a perfect circle, his fur stiff with dried mud. His eyes are missing, the sockets too clean, like they were sucked out. She swears she hears a child giggling from the woods. That night, she checks the antique hallway mirror, and her reflection's mouth moves a second after hers does. She slams a sheet over it. Then, from the kitchen, 3 slow knocks on the back door. Lena's insomnia and grief make her an unreliable narrator. Is this real? Or is she breaking down? The doorbell footage forces her, and the reader, to question reality. The figure on camera is brief but haunting. The cat's corpse is visceral and personal. The delayed reflection is a slow burn terror. Lena wakes after a fitful sleep, her body aching as if she'd been fighting in her dreams. The house is too quiet, no birds outside, no creaks of old wood, just the hum of the refrigerator, which suddenly cuts off, plunging her into silence. She checks her phone, no service, though she had full bars last night. Did I imagine the knocks? The dead cat? But then she sees Shadow's empty food bowl and remembers. Lena showers, trying to wash away the dread. When she wipes the steam from the mirror, 5 small, child-sized handprints appear on the glass, pressed from the other side. They spell Dniel, her brother's name, in backward cursive before streaking downward like claws. The mirror cracks violently. A single human molar falls into the sink. Lena drives to the local library, desperate for answers. The librarian, Mrs. Driscoll pales when Lena mentions her address. The house's previous owner, Daniel Reeves, same name as her brother, disappeared in 1982. His journal was found open to a page with one sentence. It knocks 3 times. It wears his face. Mrs. Driscoll's hands shake as she slides the microfilm to Lena. Her own face appears in a 1982 news photo beside Daniel's. Mr. Hargrove visits again, this time with a shotgun. He insists on checking her basement. He points to blackened symbols under the stairs. Hoarding marks. Gone bad. It's not just knocking, girl. It's counting down. He mentions the 7-night rule. After the 7th knock, the door opens from the inside. That night, Lena hears scratches inside the walls. She presses her ear to the plaster. Lena, you let me die, her brother's voice. A bloody fingernail pushes through the wall, grazing her cheek. She flees upstairs only to find her bedroom door locked from the inside. Exhausted, Lena crashes on the couch. She wakes to a warm hand on her shoulder. It's Jake, her podcast partner. You sounded freaked on voicemail. I drove all night. Then she notices Jake's boots are caked in the same mud as Shadow's corpse. Lena wakes to sunlight streaming through the windows, a false sense of safety. The house is too quiet, the air thick with the scent of damp earth and copper. She finds Jake making coffee in the kitchen, his back to her. His movements are jerky, mechanical, like a puppet learning to be human. The coffee smells burnt, wrong when she looks in the pot. The liquid is dark red. Jake turns, his smile doesn't reach his eyes. Rough night? Lena steps outside, desperate for air. She notices police tape at Mr. Hargrove's house. A deputy tells her, heart attack. Strange thing is, his lips were sewn shut. That night, Lena hears knocking at her back door. She opens it to find Mr. Hargrove's corpse standing there, his mouth crudely stitched with black thread. His voice is wet, garbled. Told you, it counts down. Then his jaw unhinges, and a swarm of black beetles pours out. Lena and Jake review her recordings. The audio from the first night now has new whispers. 7 nights, then we dance. The sound wave forms a screaming face on the screen. Jake's reaction? He laughs a sound too high-pitched, like a child giggling. Lena investigates the basement alone. Her flashlight flickers, revealing. A child's drawings on the wall stick figures with too many limbs. One depicts a tall figure at a door, captioned, "Let me in or I'll wear your face." The flashlight dies. In the dark, small, cold fingers brush her wrist. Back upstairs, Jake slips up. He quotes a conversation Lena never had with him. When she confronts him, his pupils dilate unnaturally. Body horror. His teeth sharpen as he whispers, "He'll open the door soon, Lena. You're too curious not to." Lena's phone rings. It's Jake's number, but the voice is hysterical. "Lena, don't trust." The call cuts to static then. "I'm already inside." She looks up. Jake stands in the doorway, head tilted at an impossible angle. Lena wakes to sunlight slicing through the curtains like a knife, her body aching as if she'd been fighting in her sleep. The house smells of burnt hair and wet earth, a combination that makes her gag. Jake is gone no note, just a half-drunk cup of coffee gone cold, the liquid inside swirling with black sediment. On the counter, a single child's tooth resting on a torn page from Daniel Reeves' journal. The room is hungry. It eats the light. Lena descends into the basement, her flashlight beam trembling like a frightened animal. The walls are covered in crude charcoal drawings that weren't there yesterday. A map of the house with a room that doesn't exist on the blueprints. Stick figures with their mouths sewn shut, pointing to the west wall. One drawing shows a woman who looks like Lena standing before a door, her hands covering her ears. Her flashlight catches a small handprint on the concrete, fresh, damp, fingers too long. When she touches it, the wall gives slightly, revealing a hidden door warped shut by time. Lena pries open the door with a crowbar. The wood splinters like bone, releasing a puff of stale, metallic air. Inside, symbols carved into the walls. Some resemble warding marks. Others look like equations for summoning. A child's shoe, crusted in mud, and something darker. A broken mirror on the floor, its glass blackened as if burned from behind. When Lena steps inside, the temperature drops instantly. Her breath fogs the air, and in the condensation, words appear. Daniel let me in. The door slams shut behind her. From the other side, 3 knocks. Trapped, Lena presses her ear to the door. She hears her brother's voice, but wrong like multiple people speaking at once. Lena, please, it's so cold here. Then a child giggling. Something scratches at the door from the other side, nails dragging down the wood. The scratches form letters. Yourturn. Lena kicks the door open, stumbling into the basement. She races upstairs, but doors slam shut as she passes. The hallway stretches unnaturally, like in a nightmare. She finally reaches the kitchen and grabs salt, a knife, and a candle improvised protection. Whispering the only warding phrase she remembers from her research, she draws a circle of salt around herself. False victory. The air stills. For a moment, it works. Then the candle snuffs out, and the salt ignites into blue flame. Exhausted, Lena checks her phone. A voicemail from Jake's number plays. Static and a wet, choking sound. A whisper. It's wearing me, Lena. It's... The line goes dead. On the screen, a single word appears in the call log. Daniel. Lena wakes to golden sunlight streaming through her window, a cruel illusion. The clock reads 3:07 a.m. Outside, the woods are preternaturally still, not a single cricket chirping. The air smells faintly of burnt sugar and rotting meat. On her knitstand sits a steaming mug of coffee, just how Jake always made it. But Jake is missing. When she lifts it, the liquid inside swirls black, then red, revealing a human tooth at the bottom. The front door creaks open. Jake walks in, humming a child's nursery rhyme Lena doesn't recognize. His smile shows too many teeth. His shadow moves independently, crawling up the wall like a spider. When he blinks, His eyelids close vertically like a reptile's. Lena casually asks about their first podcast episode together, something only the real Jake would know. Jake pauses, then laughs. "Oh, you mean the one where we talked about ... this?" His voice shifts mid-sentence to perfect mimicry of her dead brother. Lena confronts him. "You're not Jake." His face sags like melting wax, revealing muscle and bone beneath. From the ruin of his features, her brother's eyes blink up at her. His voice becomes a chorus of whispers. "We just want to come home, Lena." He lunges. Lena stabs him with a kitchen knife. Black sludge pours from the wound, forming words on the floor. 7 nights, and we dance. Lena's phone rings. The caller ID shows her own number. A distorted voice whispers, "Check the attic." The line goes dead. On the screen, her reflection mouths words she didn't say. Lena finds a VHS tape labeled Daniel's Last Day. The footage shows her house, but the furniture is decades older. A man who looks like her brother walks into the hidden room and never comes out. Lena tries to flee the house. Doors seal themselves with black tendrils. Windows show different seasons: snow, then autumn leaves, then blood rain. In desperation, Lena cuts her palm, letting blood drip on the threshold. The front door flies open, but outside isn't her yard. It's the hidden room, waiting. Exhausted, Lena collapses before the hallway mirror. Her reflection steps closer while she stays still. IT wears faces like clothes, but IT hates salt, and IT fears what's in the walls. Lena wakes to an eerie silence, no whispers, no knocks. The house feels almost peaceful, which terrifies her more than the hauntings. The clock reads May, its digital display glitching. Outside, the trees stand too still, their branches like skeletal fingers frozen mid-reach. A trail of blackened rose petals leads from her bed to the hallway. At the end of the trail, a single lit candle, its flame burning blue. Desperate for answers, Lena tracks down Eleanor Voss, the town's reclusive historian. The woman lives in a cluttered Victorian house that smells of mothballs and dried herbs. Eleanor reveals the house was built on a convergence of ley lines, making it a doorway for entities. The previous families? Sacrifices to keep something locked away. The ritual Lena found? Not for banishment, for transfer. "It needs a new host," Eleanor whispers. As Eleanor speaks, black veins spread across her neck. She grabs Lena's wrist. It's already in Y before her eyes burst, leaking swarming insects. The last thing Lena sees, Eleanor's mouth stitched shut with black thread. Lena returns to the hidden room, armed with salt, iron nails, and Eleanor's notes. The symbols on the walls glow faintly when splashed with salt water. One phrase repeats, "The 7th night wears the skin." Beneath the floorboards, a child's bones, wrapped in a dress identical to Lena's childhood favorite. The candlelight distorts shadows into figures circling her. A child's voice giggles. "You're almost ready." Lena attempts the ritual from Eleanor's notes. She draws a salt circle, places iron at the cardinal points, recites the incantation, but the words twist in her mouth, becoming, "Let me in, let me in, let me in." The salt ignites, burning her skin where it touches. The walls bleed black sludge, forming a laughing face. The child's voice whispers, "Silly Lena, you're the door." Lena flees to the bathroom, but her reflection moves independently, peeling off its own skin. The glass frosts over, revealing one word, Daniel. When she smashes it, the shards rearrange into a pointing arrow toward the attic. Exhausted, Lena checks her phone. A text from Jake's number. "One night left." The attached image. A photo of her sleeping, taken last night from inside her closet. The entity has been inside her house all along. The knocking? Just a distraction. Lena watches the sun dip below the trees through a window streaked with phantom handprints. The golden light turns sickly green as it filters through the glass. The air smells like ozone and wet earth, the scent of an approaching storm. Her phone glitches, cycling through the same message. Tonight it wears your face. The walls breathe, expanding and contracting like a living thing. The attic door, previously locked, now stands slightly ajar, a cold draft whispering through the gap. Lena climbs the stairs, each step sinking slightly, as if the wood is softening beneath her. The attic is a time capsule of horrors. Dust-covered mirrors face each other in an infinite reflection. A child's rocking horse moves on its own, its paint peeling to reveal blackened wood beneath. Newspaper clippings detail missing persons cases, spanning decades, all connected to the house. When Lena touches one mirror, she's pulled into a memory not her own. She sees a woman who looks like her in 1920s clothing, sewing her own lips shut as shadows advance. Then a man in the 1960s, clawing at his face in the hidden room. Finally, her brother, standing in her current bedroom, whispering, "Lena, you are always the strongest," before his eyes turn black. Lena stumbles back into the present, but something's wrong. She blinks and is suddenly in bed, waking up to the first night's knocking. The cycle repeats, each iteration shorter, each version of the entity more distorted. In one loop, she sees herself standing in the corner, smiling. Lena bites her tongue until it bleeds, using the pain to anchor herself. The loops shatter like glass, revealing the true Attica ritual space with her name carved into the floorboards. A VHS player clicks on by itself. The tape shows Daniel in the hidden room, holding a knife. He speaks directly to Lena. "It wants our family's grief. That's the door. Don't let it make you remember." Then he cuts his own throat, but instead of blood, black smoke pours out, forming the entity. The attic door slams shut. The air grows thick and syrupy. From the shadows, it extends a hand. "Let me in properly this time. I'll give you Jake back. I'll give you him back." Behind it, ghostly versions of her ancestors nod encouragingly. When Lena hesitates, the entity turns cruel. The walls bleed. The floor opens into a pit of grasping hands. Her reflection in the mirrors steps out, reaching for her. Lena stands at the threshold of the hidden room. The house is the entity's prison, not its home. Her bloodline are the jailers each generation must choose to continue the watch. She recites the true ritual words from Eleanor's notes. I remember. I refuse. I remain. The house screams. The entity's form fractures. But then a child's laugh. The ritual circle cracks. Lena wakes to perfect silence. No whispers. No knocks. The house feels lighter, as if holding its breath. Sunlight streams through unbroken windows. The first morning without distortion. Her reflection in the hallway mirror behaves normally. The hidden room's door is sealed shut, fresh drywall covering it. On the kitchen counter, a steaming cup of coffee, just how she likes it. When she lifts the mug, her fingernails are blackened, crusted with dried blood and grave dirt. The calendar shows the date, 1 week later than it should be. Lena uploads her final episode. The truth about 3A Mile, a frenzied account of the hauntings. Her voice sounds calm, measured, nothing like her panicked script. In the background, faint whispering forms words when played backward. We're inside now. Comments flood in. Who was the woman screaming at 27 minutes and 3 seconds? Lena checks there's no scream in the file, but her own voice repeats a phrase she never said. Come to the door. Lena showers, trying to scrub away the grime under her nails. Steam fogs the glass, but only on her reflection side. Words appear. You said no. I said yes. Her reflection steps closer, pressing a palm against the glass. The surface gives like skin. The mirror shatters outward, spraying shards. In each fragment, a different version of Lena, some screaming, some smiling, some with black eyes. A package arrives, no return address, postmarked 40 years ago. Inside, Daniel's journal, the final pages filled in fresh ink. The house picks a new jailer when the old one breaks. You held on so long, little sister, but it's wearing you thin. A Polaroid of Lena sleeping, taken last night. On the back, say hello to Jake for me. Lena's podcast plays on its own, volume maxed. The audio distorts. A chorus of voices her own. Daniel's, the child's chant. Let us in, let us in. Then, clear as day, Jake's scream abruptly cut off. Her laptop camera activates, showing the real Jake bound in the hidden room. A whisper. You know how to save him. The screen glitches. Now it shows Lena standing over Jake, a knife in her hand. Lena stands before the hidden room's freshly unsealed door. Save Jake by becoming the new vessel, or condemn him to buy herself time. She reaches for the knob. Her reflection grabs her wrist. The entity, wearing her face, smiles with too many teeth. You already let me in. You just don't remember. Flash of memory. Lena performing the ritual perfectly days ago. The entity has been piloting her body since, making her forget. The hauntings were toying with the last fragments of her consciousness. Lena's podcast tops the charts. Listeners reporting nightmares of knocking. In a dim studio, Lena records a new episode, her voice slightly distorted. The final shot. Her eyes flicker black as she whispers, "Don't answer the door at 3 a.m. Unless you want to be part of the story.